Segment 3, Gold and Black Live, joined by Purdue baseball coach Greg Goff and Purdue baseball expert Kyle Charters. He's the man about town, but he's got other things that are on his resume as well. But gentlemen, on a cold, gray, little bit of snow on the ground still in West Lafayette, the idea that baseball's coming around just makes me feel better. And Greg, you've got a lot. You've got the first pitch dinner tonight. You've got Fan Fest tomorrow, but it's baseball season, and you got game week in essence next week.
No doubt. It's a great day. We're excited, and we're really looking forward to it. A week from today, we open up our season 2022, which, as you know, going through last year with the Big Ten playing conference games only, we're excited to have an opportunity to go south and a chance to, play a regular non-conference, 15 or 16 games before we get into Big Ten play.
Yeah.
Greg, as you know, we had about 15 inches of snow here earlier this month. How many times have your players been outside to practice, and how many times will they have been outside before they open against South Dakota State next week?
Well, Kyle, we've been out one time. We got a chance before the storm hit. We got a chance to go down to Grand Park and get on the field. And man, it was probably the best practice of the year. I mean, guys were flying around, chance to get see fly balls and play live, play a scrimmage. But that's the only time, Kyle. That's it. That's the only time that we've been able to get outside and prepare. But boy, we were so thankful to get a chance to get on that bus and go down and have a good 4-hour practice.
Yeah.
That is going to be that. Obviously, you play South Dakota State next week. One would presume they might be a little bit of the same boat, but that's always a challenge. And yeah, the weather since February 2nd hasn't been all that conducive to outdoor activity of any kind here in West Lafayette. All right, tell us. One of the things you've done a great job of in your relatively short tenure as a head coach at Purdue is really building, fan interest and getting folks involved outside of just the inner circle of your baseball program. You got Fan Fest tomorrow. Tell us a little bit about that, but also just from an effort of trying to really grow the brand of, everybody knows about baseball, but college baseball and in this community and what you're trying to get done there.
Well, no doubt, that's a very important thing for me. I'm a family guy. I think, investing in families and our community. I love West Lafayette and Lafayette. We've grown to love this place. And so, it's really important for me. I mean, we had almost 500 something community service hours just in the fall alone. It's something that we want our guys to understand that, we can make a difference. We can make a difference with a great attitude and going out and be what I call servants of the community, guys. And so our players have bought into that. And so we did a great job with that this fall. And then tomorrow with Fan Fest, I mean, we're cutting our practice short about an hour and a half just so we can have Fan Fest and get a chance to bring in all the little folks around the communities and come in and basically have a free baseball clinic. It'll be set up just like a camp pretty much. And they can come in and walk through and get a chance to meet our players, go through some baseball skills, and really have a wonderful time. I tell you, when we first did this a few years ago, they didn't know what the turnout would be. And guys, it's been a blessing to have all the community come out and do. It's been long lines, which is great for us.
So I came out to a couple of your fall games, and I had to have my roster out in front of me because I was looking. I'm like, I don't know who any of these guys are.
Who's that guy?
You've got a lot of newcomers on this team. Did you have to put note cards on their head or anything when they showed up? But so you do have a lot of newcomers, but a lot of guys who come in with some pretty good credentials too. Are you just excited to get that? I guess probably your first, you had the COVID year and the other year was short. It's like the first real year here where you feel like you're probably starting to get in some of your guys.
That's right, Kyle. You're exactly right. And it was crazy. I mean, I got an opportunity to stay here when Mark left, and then we had a season. I thought we were playing pretty well. Went up and played some really good teams in the Big Ten Challenge, and all of a sudden COVID hit, and the year was over with. We hadn't been out on the road recruiting in 2 years. So we really didn't bring many players in. So really, this is our first like really recruiting class, with our program now. And there's a lot of new faces, but we have a lot of older guys too that have been here, that have been through it. Tyler Powers is a guy from here in town that's been here for 5 years, and Evan Albrecht and Ryan Howe. Those guys have been here for a while and have played a bunch. And so my job is to, mix these guys together and get, competition within the program. And it's been an awesome fall. As you saw it. I mean, we got some athleticism. I think we can do some things offensively. And I think we shored up our pitching staff as well. So I'm excited, guys. I tell you, I love this group of guys. They're a great group of young men. They make me better every day by being a chance to coach them.
We talk about all the things that go into building a program and building interest. You brought the home schedule, March 11th. You've guaranteed 68-degree weather for the game against Bellarmine on March the 11th.
I'll take that.
You're a meteorologist, coach, and that's a good thing. But in the video board coming in, just the things that when fans get to Alexander Field, that it's going to be a full deal experience for them.
There's no doubt. The one thing that I've come to respect is just our alumni base and the support, guys. I mean, it has been unbelievable, the support that we've had since taking over. And that video board is a direct relation, but because of that, Coach Mady here on staff, he does a great job with our alumni and the relationships that we try to build with those guys. And all that video board is direct result of the fundraising through JPC and through Coach Mady and myself. And it wouldn't happen if it wasn't for the alumni here for the Purdue baseball. So we're really, really thankful for that and so excited for our fans. I mean, it's going to bring a whole different attitude. The fan experience is going to be awesome with this new video board and the things that we're going to be able to do. And I'm really thankful that, Mike and Dr. Howitt and those guys, gave us the approval to fundraise for that and get that out there, because I think it's going to make a huge difference. The only thing I'm worried about is, when Kyle and everybody comes next fall for our luncheon and home run derby, I'm afraid Kyle may hit one out of there. I don't know.
I'm just happy when we get it out of the infield.
I don't know, man. He may go yard on the big screen.
Yeah, there you go. You don't want to hit that thing.
Yeah. I don't think we have to worry about that. Let's talk a little bit about your team, man. You look at your projected lineup, I think, at least the way I might project it, and you have some real ability, I think, to put some pressure on a pitching staff and defense at the top of that lineup with Mike Bolton Jr., perhaps the leadoff man. I think that's probably a safe assumption. Maybe Curtis Washington Jr. up there near the top, and Paul Tate, who came over from Indiana and was a doubles machine.
Yes.
As a true freshman down there in Bloomington. Do you like that? I mean, is that the style in which you want to be able to play to really, at the start of the game, put some pressure on the opposing team?
Yes, no doubt, Kyle. I mean, you hit it right on the head right there. I mean, that's what I like to do. That's how we recruited these guys to do. It's going to be a lot of fun watching Michael and Curtis and those guys run around the bases and do their thing. But that's, kind of how I've built every program that I've been to. And you got it turned around really fast with bringing in some guys that are athletic. Our park is the biggest park in the Big Ten. And so, we're not going to hit a lot of home runs in here. Nobody just doesn't. It's just so big. And so we want to bring in some athleticism, hit a lot of doubles, steal a lot of bases, and really add that pressure to that opposing pitcher to make him uncomfortable to where we can put up some runs. And that's one thing I'm really pleased with. Michael Bolton has been a tremendous player here for us, all conference last year. Man, we want him to stay healthy. And I think if he can stay healthy, he'll have a great year. And then you have Curtis and Paul has been awesome. Those two guys transferred in and really brought just a different attitude to our offense. Those guys are really good. And I think our fans are really going to enjoy watching those guys get after it.
You're bigger and more athletic.
We're bigger and more athletic. For some reason, that sounds pretty good. I don't know. I wish I was bigger and more athletic. I tell you what, I think I'm getting smaller.
17 seasons as a head coach, you've seen what 485 victories. So you've obviously, you know it when you see it. The wonderful world of the transfer portal and everything else that goes with that. I don't know how you guys do it in baseball. I've always said, and Kyle and I have had this conversation about it's the toughest has to be one of the toughest sports to recruit because of scholarship limits, et cetera. But tell us, how do you approach the portal, and how do you make that work in this situation? I mean, because it is the reality of college athletics these days.
Well, there's no doubt. And I mean, you'll look at our lineup opening weekend, you'll probably see, 2 or 3 guys that we got from the transfer portal. I mean, it's reality. I'm not real big on the portal as far as, kids just, leaving. I think it says something about a guy coming in and working and kind of paying his dues and then getting a chance to do that. But today's world, nobody wants to sit and do that anymore. So kids have an option to do that. We definitely have coaches that watch the transfer portal all the time and making sure, the thing I like about it is you can fill a hole, maybe you lose a guy to the draft. And then all of a sudden now, instead of just maybe finding a high school guy that probably isn't ready, you can go out and find a guy that's played at the Division I level and had at bats at the Division I level. And for me, you just can't put a price tag on that experience. So we definitely use it, and thankful that we got some pretty good players out of it this past year.
Yeah, what does it do to high school? I mean, we talk about this in football and basketball as well. It's just high school recruiting. It just really makes it a challenge. I mean, and it's a challenge for guys to get placed.
It does. It really does. I mean, that's what people don't understand. You got the COVID pushing everything back.
Yeah.
So I mean, we got players that are 22 and 23 years old.
Yeah.
So it's tough. It is tough for a 17 or 18-year-old freshman to come in, especially at the Division I level and play right away. So, but it's just something I think you have to balance because I do feel like, once we get this thing going in the right direction, we'll be to bring in those high school guys, more of the high school guys. And I feel like that's how you really build the program, when those guys come in there and play in 2 and 3 years and they understand, your values and what you want.
Yeah.
You probably wanted to build a little bit more depth in that pitching rotation a little bit. We'll see Jackson Smeltz, I would imagine, in some role over the weekend, but a couple of newcomers probably there as well. What can you tell me about those guys?
Well, Jackson Smeltz will be. He'll definitely be one of those weekend rotation guys for us this year. What a wonderful young man he's got. He's such a great guy. He makes our program better. Local guy here in town, and just as I've seen him grow up. I've been here as long as he has, and just watching Jackson have the experiences that he had. Comeback player of the year last year. Give him the ball in the first weekend as a starter is amazing. So he'll be there. A guy named Wyatt Wendell. You'll see him probably on the rotation somewhere.
That name's not somewhat familiar because of his dad.
Yes. He don't. I don't think he eats the licorice. And has the chain, but he likes jumping over that foul line, guys. So I hope he pitches like his dad. Will be pretty good if he does. It's awesome. So, and then, we got we got a variety of guys, guys coming back. Landon Wines is a guy, Nolan Daniel are guys that pitched a lot for us last year out of the bullpen. Eric Hildebrand got an electric arm out of the bullpen. Troy Wansing and Kyle Stevens, the guy that we got right up the road here. 2 freshmen, Carter Dorn's another freshman, that we feel like all 3 of those guys have a chance to help us this year as freshmen on the mound. So I think we got some options. We just got to make sure we, find the right places for them, especially those young guys. You don't want to, bury those guys early. You want to give them some confidence. And I think Coach Marshall did a really good job with our pitching staff.
The landscape of the Big Ten, and you guys you're going to be competitive in that mix. What do you see, teams to watch, and also teams that are coming to West Lafayette that really are going to be extra special for fans to have an opportunity to see?
Well, our league has really gotten so much better since when I first got here. I thought, 1 or 2 teams, maybe 3 teams to a regional. I thought last year there could have been at least 4 or 5. Yeah. It was amazing, the league and the strength of the league. It's getting better every year. I think more people are making a commitment level to it in the Big Ten, and so I'm excited about it. I'll be very shocked if we don't get 4 or 5 teams into a regional this year. But you have your Michigans, you got Nebraska that won the league last year. You got those guys down the road that I forgot what their name was, but I heard they were pretty good. Ohio State will be a team that returns a lot of guys. Illinois. I mean, really, I started looking at putting the preseason poll together last week, and I just started going back down through the roster from last year that are players that are returning in the league. It's going to be a great league. It's going to be very competitive. And thank goodness we do host the Hoosiers this year for only the second time in 5 years since I've been here. So that'd be an exciting weekend.
A lot of those.
Kyle, I got time for one more. Go ahead.
Yeah, a lot of those preseason polls, Greg, just like you said, sort of look at who's coming back. And so a lot of times, you guys have so many newcomers. I think it's hard for others outside the program to judge where you guys will be. So you're probably picked, and I haven't looked at all the projections, you're probably picked in the bottom half. But do you feel like that's an okay place to be for you guys, that maybe you can play with a little bit of a chip and go out there and show that you were able to put something together this year?
No doubt, Kyle. And I've been here. I've built 5 programs. That's where you are. That's where you are. You go 16-26 last year in the league. That's where we should be. But I got a feeling the old Boilermakers are going to make some folks change directions a little bit as we go through the year. I think this is a special group of guys. I love these young men. I love coaching them. I love being a part of them. And I love that they had enough confidence in us to come. And that's what's so great about building programs that I love the most, that first team that gets you over the hump, that gets things going in the right direction and really changes the path of the program. And, the last 3 programs I've been at, they were all in regionals last year. So we're on the right path. We got to build it. Good things happen to good people. And hopefully good Lord is going to bless us and have us a great year.
Yeah. Baseball is all about optimism, and the optimism of spring and everything else that comes with it. It's going to be really fun to watch you guys perform this year. Not only in West Lafayette, but through that schedule. Starts next week, next Friday, San Diego. Well, you wish it was San Diego, but it's South Dakota State in Sugar Land, Texas. And of course, a couple weekends, trips to North Carolina as well before the Boilermakers return home, open the season home on March the 11th. Against Bellarmine. So guys, thanks so much for your time. Always interesting, and we appreciate it very much. I want to thank our sponsors, Triple X on the hill, but on the level of Purdue tradition since 1929. Hilton Garden Inn when tomorrow's a big day. Stay at HGI tonight, and State Farm agent Trent Johnson. TrentIsMyAgent.com, and the good folks at WLFI, Gordon Jackson and company, for putting this show together. Best of luck on the road. Safe travels to both of you next week. It'll be warmer down there than it is here, and we'll look forward to listening to Kyle's work and keeping up with the Purdue baseball throughout the course of this season. Guys, have a great rest of the day and rest of the weekend, and we'll look forward to more from Purdue baseball. And next week we'll be back for Gold and Black Live, another show as we get deeper into February and talking hoops and everything else that's going on with Purdue sports. Thanks so much.
Thank you.